Okay, hello and welcome to etcd community meeting. Today we have September 22nd, and we have a couple of topics on the agenda. Quick announcement, because it was first topic on the previous meeting, but only was say escalated further and gained more visibility since the last meeting, is the detected etcd node durability issue. It affects only single node clusters, but as far as I've seen, it's been present in etcd for a very long time. So if you haven't upgraded, if you run single node clusters, please check it out. The latest two releases have the fixes. I think it's 3.4.21 and 3.5.5, and that was released last week. Yeah, the second topic, we are a month before the KubeCon, or CNCF, also CNCF, so etcd will have some presence there. So if you want to talk to maintainers or meet, meet and talk. There are two ways to meet maintainers, or we can also organize something to among contributors. There will be two maintainers present that I'm aware of. We will have a etcd kiosk for all graduated projects can have a kiosk. We have a schedule. There should be almost always one maintainer there. The only exception to us not being there, we'll have a maintainer talk on KubeCon. The talk is about the etcd durability issue that we have, that we experienced a couple of months ago. We'll try to get into the lessons learned from the experience that was finding how it happened and how we can prevent it in the future. That's all for me.
Do you need any logistical support for the etcd kiosk?
I mean, we are talking. We like it was talked. We talk between maintainers. We just talked. We scheduled, like, we have two maintainers. We were happy to.
Okay. Let me know if you need any of that kind of support. I can ask our events people.
Yeah, I think we will just have two maintainers, each of them with laptop, and maybe we'll do some, if people are interested, some code works on something, or show whatever we can there. Okay. With our own laptops. So if you have any like proposals or ideas, that would help. Okay. Any other questions? Greta, can feel free to bring your topic.
Yeah, this is not a bug, but we had a question about the gRPC overhead estimate that's being used today. It seems it's 512K, which seems on the higher side. So we wanted to understand, why is it estimated at that number?
Anyone with context about this? My 2 cents, I think the best way to find what is how someone made the decision about this is going through Git history, and finding who made the change and asking CCing them directly. The etcd repo has over 7 years and 15, I think, maintainers. It's been over 15 maintainers. I don't know if we can I don't expect anyone to have knowledge about it. So I don't think if you don't reach out directly to people that make the decision or make the tested it themselves, I don't think that you will get an answer easily. Like just maybe just an FYI, I proposed it and make the decision to change that all the questions about etcd usually are about they're better people than maintainers. So maintainers mainly look at the bugs and try to fix it, but most of the issues are maintainers are not the best people to answer them because it's more about users. So I propose to use the discussion board because I've seen people, pretty active people that answer much quickly than I could figure out the answers for some of the questions here. So it's much more open. Everyone can, it's easy to answer, and I've seen much broader group of people answering them because unfortunately for the issues, not many people are look at them. I think only me and Benjamin look at the issues or bug reports. So I think that should help scale up the answering of such question. If you can, please repose the question like using New Way. Now,
Sounds good. Sure. Yeah. Thanks for that suggestion. I'll post it on the discussion as well. Just another. So do people agree that that overhead is it seems overestimated, 512K for gRPC, or does anyone think that that should be that seems right?
I have no idea. I've never tried to measure it.
yeah, I think
The answer is measure. You know.
Yeah. Measure, show results, show easy way to compare, and we'll accept that. Like we'll accept what you proposed. We like there was also discussion about between etcd 3.4 and 3.5 we grew the scalability should be much improved because of debug changes. Apparently we didn't update the documentation, no one really tested. So if you can test and bring your own data and make it, best would be make it as easily to reproducible for anyone. So we can just like run your script, give us a script, we rerun and confirm what you found, and we will immediately, that would make the decision obvious. Unfortunately, the project is big enough that we cannot verify everything ourselves, and we cannot answer every question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Josh, do you want to?
Yeah. So I wanted to bring up the possibility of moving this meeting to CNCF supplied Zoom. The advantage of that would be both that we can fall back on CNCF staff if the maintainers aren't available to start a meeting. And more importantly, that we can actually set it up so that it automatically streams to YouTube and gets archived. If that's appealing to people, I can go ahead and work with the CNCF staff to make that happen.
Are there any disadvantages?
Well, we'll just be changing platforms. That's pretty much the disadvantage. If people happen to prefer Meet, then it'll be a disadvantage to use Zoom.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter, I think.
Like from my side, I think it would be a little more convenient, definitely more convenient, at least from my side, because I do everything currently manually for that. If you can start it, and we can just make sure to start from updating the official contact and contact and calendar invite, then then we can. It should be good. I think Kubernetes community is using it, so it's. I think most people are used to it. Any other thoughts from people that our user are listening or to more than from the other side. I would say from the other side. Okay, everyone loves Zoom. So
Okay.
I think that's
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. I'll let you know when we're looking at actually getting it set up, because setting up the automatic streaming requires a CNCF staff member. So I will schedule with them.
Yeah, so reach out to me directly. I think only I have access now to the YouTube.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel. So
Okay, we'll do.
okay, going to the next topic. Bogdan, do you want to bring your?
Yeah, so just want to check on the experimental features. So this is just an example. This is actually one that's pretty simple. So I know we had a documentation change about this recently, and I just wanted to have like a check of what do you think about removing sort of like moving other experimental features to stable. This particular one, I just link it as an example to you. So this one is pretty simple, but I think for other ones, the requirement is to add in sort of more tests and and so on, right? Some of the tests, in my opinion, they like. So anyway, I just wanted to check like what are your thoughts about recent discussion of the experimental flag and moving forward with some of this.
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned the discussion. I will try to find it.
Yeah, the PR is already merged.
We just merged the updates to the graduation requirements. High level, I haven't looked into the issue, but high level, what I would want to see, and I wanted to push it through the issue. We would want, I think it mentioned here, we would want to have a checklist, like basically if you in this issue. So I one thing I forgot, I wanted after this is merged, I will add a checklist. I need to remember to add a checklist to each of the issue, and if we have an example of fulfilling all of these graduation criteria. So basically, instead of thinking, oh, there is a flag, and the feature looks good, like let's say, but but it was developed. I think I don't know what's the context, like a couple of years ago, or and we don't double check. We bring a chance of people forgetting, missing something. So I just want to make sure that we have like more. Let's say minimal process, that there is a checklist, and for it like please make sure that there's metrics if needed. We did a benchmark, or at least if you are enabling feature by default, there's a like we have guarantees that there is no regression. There is end-to-end tests. Like it's scary how many things missed end-to-end tests. Or how unstable some end-to-end tests are. So we just need to make sure that this is fulfilled. And with like, I assume your PR is a follow to hold, like after this there is a discussion with the checklist and everyone agrees that the checklist is fulfilled. This is the issue that is like, let's say, a cherry on the top. Everyone agrees this is graduated, we can push it to everyone. Yeah, so I would, if you like, I can add the checklist to the issue, and I can start maybe looking into just to double check, just provide a link for each example that we are sure that this is, we are. So for every point, there is a link to code that shows, oh, here's a unit test, here is end-to-end test. end-to-end and have a sentence end-to-end test covers all the scenarios that we think are relevant, that would be enough for it to graduate. Yeah, so the only, and the second, I think that what Benjamin mentioned, I pushed also to stop making breaking changes. So graduation of the feature should not remove the old flag. We should leave the old flag there, but add the graduated one, and only after we give one release that experimental flag still works. And that's all. So I can help. I will try to ping me.
Okay,
me on the Slack or something for me to add the checklist and start looking into this.
Yeah, I mean, I can create the checklist, no problem. I just wanted to kind of, to get this streamlined, because I was looking, I know you opened like about half a year ago, like all this help wanted issues about tracking the flags. So I was, picking some of them. And yeah, so just want to kind of streamline this. So maybe I'll reach out in Slack. I think I like there, of course, don't say we shouldn't have tests or anything there, but some of them actually kind of can be like auto need tests, because like it's just literally exposing a value that is hard coded, for example, right? So maybe we can do some stress testing around that, but yeah, so I guess we'll have to discuss it, I guess, feature by feature, what type of tests we actually want, because I think we can probably structure this experimental features into groups, where one group is just exposing a value that we just want to be configurable. Then the other group is actually some kind of a change of the behavior, things like that. So
sure. My high level idea would be, I'm pretty sure none of those flags have end-to-end tests. I would like to have an end-to-end test for each of them. The reason is I've seen experimental features that had flags for configuration. Those flags didn't work because someone didn't push the flag correctly. So I'm pretty sure that to go into more quality, to improve etcd quality, we need to make sure that every feature that we commit to maintaining is working and will work throughout releases, because there is too much code for us to make to say that end-to-end test is trivial and it just changes configuration.
I guess that's fine. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's basically so there's a group of features like this one that, let's say, just exposes a setting, right? So I guess to verify it end to end, we'll need to basically check the logs, or which is possible.
Yeah.
I think that
we've done this. This is for me, the easiest way is to emit a log verify even a log, but make the log a good placed log that make sure that the everything, all the pipelining worked and the value is used correctly. I can bring the example. It was, what was the check-in feature. There is an issue in etcd 3.4 that for Kubernetes, if your leader chain is changed, your leases will be reset. And then there is a check-in feature to prevent that. The check-in had configuration, it didn't work even once. So yeah, I just
okay. That sounds fair. I mean, as I said, I don't mind tests. I'm just saying that I guess some of them looked pretty simple ones. But yeah, I'll add the test. That's totally fine. Okay, and I think basically, I guess what I want to, say is that maybe I'll be, I guess, like, what is the best way to communicate, maybe through the issues or through Slack because I think I'm gonna try to pick up, like a bunch of these, just kind of go through them, and try to move them from experimental to stable. So I'm willing to do the work, but also, like, if this is maybe not a good time, if you want to think more about how this should be done, that's also fine. But I guess, like, what I want to hear is that, okay, is this a good time right now to, let's say, after this document is done, right, to kind of follow this and basically try to push as many as possible to stable, or
Yeah,
shall I wait?
Now we have established requirements. So basically, let's say documentation, what we would expect. We still don't have exact process, let's say process, or how the exact checklist will look like, or what is a good example of test or unit test, or good, or what is robust end-to-end test coverage. So we'll need to figure out, but at least we know that if there is no end-to-end test for this feature or integration test, we know that we should not graduate it. So I think that if you whatever you propose, then start like seeing. I would even want. It would be great to get your thoughts and your experience when you start graduating, and we can adjust the process and figure out it ourselves. I think the high level, like, there was a high level proposal. We just need to, like, move it to.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. Let's then, like, start. I guess I'll start. Like, adjusting the PR that I have, create a checklist, and since then we can, discuss as we go. Sounds good. Thanks.
Any other topic? Anyone want to say hi? Anyone new? Or should we finish? Okay.
Sorry, one thing about features that kind of I wanted also to discuss. So, like, fundamental problem I feel is that we don't really know who's using what features. So, for example, for us, we don't use most of these experimental features, and then it's kind of well, it's sort of like impossible to track who's actually using what. So I don't know if there's any thoughts about like, for example, and then it makes it difficult to remove a feature, for example, right? So if it's added already, so it's like then deprecation is.
Do we want to do a survey?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm more inclined to, or worried about the other way. We don't know when it's good to graduate a feature, or we don't have a good signal. I'm less like assuming that there is some there's a release cadence. We get into some release cadence, even though we are pretty like over 9 months late for the previous planned release. Assuming we have some cadence, I expect if we deprecate the feature, really make one release and make like full deprecation, like there is a deprecation discussed in this issue, that should be good enough, or in the issue that, yeah, the deprecation. So if you have any thoughts here, currently for experimental features, for example, maintainers agreed that we have right to remove it at any moment, like both support for it. But for stable features, we have what Kubernetes, or shorter than Kubernetes, one release support.
I guess my point, yeah, I mean, my point is the following. So for example, right, let's say I look at the feature that I'm thinking, okay, we don't use it, I don't use it, but that's probably time to move it to from experimental, right? So my initial response will be just to move it to stable, because let's say it's been around for a couple of releases, right? But then I need to write tests and so on, which I don't mind. But then, if at the end nobody literally uses this feature, then it's kind of adding code to the repository. So we should remove it, right? So how we should? Well, I guess we can go into more favor removal versus graduating the feature, right? What will be So in my
Honestly,
opinion, yeah.
Honestly, the best way to find out if anybody's using a feature is you announce deprecation.
Yeah.
That's when you find out if anybody's using it.
Right. So what I want to hear, what I'm trying to check is that, how should we go about it? I mean, try to come up with a list. Let's say I can come up with a list that I think of the features that are, for example, I can find anywhere on the open source that is used, as some example configurations for Kube that we don't use, and I can create an issue of a sort of a poll, or you maybe can create that, and then we come up with a list of a short list of things that can be removed, experimental features, and then we go from there. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes, I think sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, we are on time, and to not I assume people have other meetings. So let's. So if you didn't have occasion to discuss your topic, please add it to the next agenda. And yeah, see you in 4 weeks. Have a great local time. Let's see.
Thank you.
Bye.